Things don't seem to be going smoothly for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, as several of his ministers have resigned over the past few days, with heavy calls from the opposition demanding that he resign. With the entire backlash, PM Johnson has finally stepped down.
Things don't seem to be going smoothly for UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, as several of his ministers have resigned over the past few days, with heavy calls from the opposition demanding that he resigns. Well, this call is not only from the opposition, but from his own party members themselves. With the entire backlash, PM Johnson has finally agreed to resign. All does not seem well in the UK Parliament, as UK Prime Minister is facing the toughest period in his political career, as his cabinet colleagues and party members are all pulling away from his leadership, with 2 senior cabinet members resigning from their posts and many more. The resigned ministers have claimed that they could not work for a government mired in scandals. But it all seemed to boil down with PM Boris eventually agreeing to resign. The melting point to the turmoil was when the Chancellor Rishi Sunak and Health Secretary Sajid Javid resigned from the government, saying they are no longer having the confidence in Boris Johnson to lead the country. Chancellor Rishi Sunak said that the public expected government to be conducted properly, competently and seriously. Health Secretary Sajid Javid echoed this, saying the government was not acting in the national interest. The resignations came minutes after the PM apologized for appointing MP Chris Pincher to a government role. Education Secretary Nadeem Zahawi has been named as the new Chancellor, and Downing Street Chief of Staff Steve Barclay will replace Mr. Javid as Health Secretary. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson was still clinging to power, having defiantly responded to calls from his loyalists to step down by sacking a minister and former top ally. But after the resignation of Sunak and Javid, more than 40 ministers and aides, including 3 cabinet members, have quit the government since late Tuesday, with resignations continuing to trickle in overnight. Over his tenure as Prime Minister, Johnson's reign was marked with scandals, but the scandal that led to his upheaval was sparked by revelations that Johnson appointed Chris Pincher into his government despite knowing of past allegation of sexual misconduct. Pincher, the Conservatives' deputy chief whip, resigned last week after allegations that he groped 2 guests at a private dinner. Pincher did not admit the allegations directly, but told Johnson in a letter that last night I drank far too much and embarrassed myself and other people. Downing Street had struggled to explain why Pincher was in government in the first place amid a wave of revelations about his previous alleged conduct, denying Johnson knew anything specific about the allegations. On Tuesday, it emerged that a complaint had been made against Pincher in the Foreign Office about 3 years ago, and that Johnson was briefed on what happened. Downing Street then said he had forgotten. Johnson acknowledged it was a mistake to appoint Pincher to his government on Tuesday, but the damage had already been done. He is expected to formally announce his resignation later on Thursday. The move came after days of high drama and a steady stream of resignations from his cabinet since Tuesday, and just minutes after his newly appointed Chancellor to replace Rishi Sunak wrote a public letter calling for him to go now. Nadeem Zahawi, the Iraqi origin minister, seen as the frontrunner to replace Johnson in 10 Downing Street, wrote a damning letter which openly questioned his boss's authority and demanded his exit. While not officially resigning from his new cabinet post, the 55-year-old minister said that the time was up for Johnson. Prime Minister, you know in your heart what the right thing to do is, and go now. He signed off.
Rishi Sunak, whose resignation as Chancellor of the Exchequer triggered an avalanche of resignations against Boris Johnson, is believed to be a contender for the next UK Prime Minister. If it happens, he will be first Indian origin man to be British PM. Sunak, 42, was picked by Boris Johnson and appointed Chancellor of the Exchequer, his first full cabinet position in February 2020. He is seen by the bookmakers Ledbrokes as joint favourite alongside former Defence Secretary Penny Mordaunt. He became hugely popular during the pandemic after crafting a massive package worth tens of billions of pounds to help businesses and workers. Nicknamed Rishi, he found himself on the back foot over his wife's non-dom tax status, his US green card and a perception of him being too slow to react to Britain's cost of living crisis. A teetotaler, he was also fined for defying the COVID lockdown and participating in a Downing Street gathering. The core committee meeting on Naga political issue held a meeting today at the Chief Minister's residential complex in Kohima. Briefing the media persons after the meeting, government spokesperson Niba Krunu said talks on Naga political issue is having some gap, so the members felt that government of India and Naga political groups should come closer. Krunu informed that the parliamentary committee, along with all the elected members and the two members of Parliament, will be holding a meeting on July 16 at the Nagaland Legislative Assembly.
The talk is a little bit having some gap as of now. So we feel that they should come closer. So now we will have a discussion on that very day, and then the core committee also we will discuss on that very day. Core committee we had a meeting, but there is no resolution. But we have decided to call for all the parliamentary core committee, it is all the elected members, including the both MPs, to have a thorough discussion, a very serious discussion on 16th of this month in the assembly.
Okay.
It will not be that assembly session,
Okay.
but mock drill for this presidential election will be there. So everybody has to come. So that after that we will have a serious discussion in the conference hall, and we will talk about this political issue.
CCTV inside an essential shop at supermarket in Dimapur caught a woman stealing a purse left by a customer. A woman in red kurta is seen paying the bills to the shopkeeper, and as the shopkeeper turned to keep the money, the woman stole the purse that was left by a customer in front of the counter. The incident was reported to be at around 3:30 p.m. today. An FIR has been lodged at East Police Station in connection to the incident. Dimapur Police Special Operation Team has arrested 5 persons for extortion. The SOT, while on surveillance duty in the town, received information from Dimapur Au Youth Organization that some armed miscreants were threatening and extorting from a petrol pump near Hotel Teja Fort in town, informed Commissioner of Police Dimapur. Following the information received, the team acted swiftly and intercepted one Bolero bearing NL01 P0205 and arrested 5 persons. The arrested persons have been identified as Asuka, Aketo, Mikato, Toto and Bulodo. The police also recovered one toy pistol which was used in the commission of crime and 8 smartphones from their possession. In this connection, a case has been registered for further investigation. The Sumi Hoho today felicitated Viku L. Achumi, who recently cleared the Union Public Service Commission 2022. The felicitation cum Tuluni program was held at Sumi Hoho Ki in Zonopoto. Delivering the greetings, the Hoho President I. Niketo Jimomi on behalf of all the Sumi community congratulated Achumi, bringing laurels to the community. He expressed hope that he would be an inspiration to many other aspirants. He also lauded the parents and guardians of Achumi for having raised such sincere child and added that this exam was never an easy one, but with their support in all walks of life, he could clear it and asked them to pray for the community too.
生活我们的咖啡，生活咖喱各自家嘛，你心里有嘛安定不行，多路多谈，而且有的时候有嘛一个人熬住你，之外呢，过两路啊都说了嘛，你身边有的是投入了多个人干了，俺们那些。Kira, ane kita oleh kami asaju IPS juga mungkin suasana itu beberapa orang yang melakukan itu, karena itu sudah nyungnya kalau pas saja itu orang tak suka buat. Itu sehingga semua orang itu ada kopi yang bersama ini itu.
Speaking at the program, Achumi said that his success wasn't his alone, but the entire community, and added that he could make it because of the church prayer, support and good leaders. He added that not only him, but many others from the community are clearing PhDs and other professional courses, which he said is a sign of good leadership and growth of community.
아무 시경태하니, 애는 금지 시경태하니. 이시비에시 로또 그리실 기위에 니디고 리키고 뭐 부즈 니스미 금지 좋아제 게디 금술라니. 아침에 기르니 꿈도 사케미 기위 애는 그감이 기위 얘기해 보러 아시아에 애는 아무 마치 유 부조이스 Emma Hene lo Nino Pilo Achini. Ikebu, according to she, Srini, Holo, head of department, she like you, Eno, Simi Tomono, agility, which could PhD, professional degrees, people like you, here, Azu Holo, you, Michi Kebi, Kumsulu Ani. Eno Amono, non sacre, Kumaza, you kepi.
Also delivering Tuluni greetings, President Sumi Kugami Hoho Kashido Yeptomi said that Tuluni was a celebration of peacemaking, loving one another, giving and helping one another. Keeping public safety as priority, the Traders Union Seminyu Town, in collaboration with District Executive Force Seminyu, installed CCTVs at strategic locations in and around Seminyu Town on July 7 for better surveillance. Speaking to HornbillTV, Traders Union Seminyu Town General Secretary Enoch Wand said that even though some of the CCTVs installed are yet to be operationalized, the initiative has been undertaken keeping in mind the safety of passers-by of other districts such as Woka and Mogokchung. The setting up of the surveillance cameras has been funded by the union and the district police.
Stretch to highway la stretch yes na.
अच्छा
Man nangor bi nahi aro side te turn kan ko bi kiba nevi neoli bi. Man ekta plan grase to model district la Kurule plan grase to wahi man initiate grase at the same time newly created district ase. So even the SP and DC so towns of the man mundina kam man iklo merge kena kam kurule na. So inya se to Mombi 50% dishe SPL office with 50% dishe to na dinani iko happening kiki wishle do mana fingertip te thagile ba itu vai ma itu CCTV la initiate luije
Jeto edu DF amnian edu collaborate करना Croatia.
yes na kore oi tabi tando tabi control room set up krole age te conditions nutun district ase to sob bhi to ever one go di jawna pare na to itu vai he tala sat pratami niga ideas ulaje to mami mala traders union pra he half to side je tam half side yo na collaborate kurna ki lo ni tando ni safe test banaule na ku na aro CCTV to kina ko ni main point je rakina se so that even the travels by can be ko next time de ki uli jelbi ko dictar na paule
So amnian conditioner do public safety करने do CCTV can install Croatia to amnian side probably like public can lo de ra pikinia support expect graze like surveillance aro phao kro le na
hoi mami niga expect graze also man tumi district to gade kwani na highway cross graze aro okha mohuchun kutu lisop idu cross kre na so itu ba ki incident jule to inconveniences भी विषय है मानो अलग ट्राइब करने भी अलग डिस्ट्रिक्ट करने भी ना जो भाई मन ini jineng cases disna fil guna kale tumi district ikla lohina alak district kan passers by khang garne bina idu he idu la initiative loishi
okay amnian district de like crime rate can be saigina inia initiative kan uthalas na etia kina se crime rate idu chor kura noile don incident nalalo
crime rate to mami nai holibi the sometimes ni unfortunate in accident never ho jena to itu kumai na de hidden one case bhi thaye to ni holibi to mami na jani jai aro ni ekbar ekni 100 te ekta case nisna na thaye na to itu he man iniga initiative so that so public ne convenient kori dule.
The prime suspect in a triple murder case that occurred on June 24 in Katisona of Mariani in Assam was found hanging from a tree on July 6. It was informed that the dead body was discovered in a semi-decomposed state, hanging close to the site of the June 24 murders. The suspect is informed to be one Darun Das and was found hanging by his jeans.
আজি সন্ধিয়া 6:15 মান বজাত মই অফিসত কাম কৰি থকা অৱস্থাত মোক মানুহ এজনে ফোন কৰি ক'লে যে আমাৰ বাৰীত এটা মৃতদেহ গছত চিপ লৈ ওলমি আছে। আমি আহি পোৱাৰ সময়তে দেৱাপাৰ আৰক্ষী চকী আৰক্ষী আহিলে। আমি একেলগে আহি গৈ মৃতদেহটো প্ৰত্যক্ষ কৰিলোঁ, গছ এজোপাত ওলমি আছে আৰু মৃতদেহটো একেবাৰে মানে প্ৰায় মৃতদেহটো গলি গৈছে দেহৰ অংশ আৰু এই যোৱা 25 তাৰিখে যেটো ইয়াত মানে 3টা মানুহৰ হত্যা হৈছিলে সেই হত্যা ঘটনাটোৰ লগত জড়িত থকা ব্যক্তিজনকে আমি সন্দেহ কৰিছো। মৃতদেহটো গছ এজোপাত ওলমি আছে।
এটো আত্মহত্যা হ'ব পাৰে না হত্যা হ'ব পাৰে?
এটো আমাৰ সন্দেহ হৈছে তো তেওঁ নিজে সুইসাইড কৰা নিচিনাই লাগিছে মানে মৃতদেহটো দেখি। তো চৰাই চিৰিকটিয়ে কাউৰীয়ে খোৱা নিচিনাই লাগিছে আমি মানে দেখি যেটো অনুমান কৰিছো আমি। আৰু এটো আজি মানে গলি গৈছে মৃতদেহটো। গতিকে সেইকাৰণে সন্দেহ কৰা হৈছে যে এটো কিবা চৰাই চিৰিকটিয়ে খাইছে মৃতদেহটো।
মানে কোন বুলি সন্দেহ কৰা কৰিছে?
এটো পুলিচৰ মতে হত্যাকাৰী তৰুণ দাস বুলি এতিয়া কথাটো প্ৰকাশ হৈছিলে। আমি তেওঁ তৰুণ দাস হয় বুলিয়ে আমি অনুমান কৰিছো, কথাটো সন্দেহ কৰা হৈছে।
Gracing the Tuluni festival at Dichibame village, advisor Tourism, Art and Culture Edge Kelvi Yeptomi expressed his gratitude to the villagers for inviting him to be the Duluni special guest. He said, Duluni is one of the most important Sumi festivals, and being a part of the festival, especially in the village, makes him feel overjoyed. While appreciating the village elders for nurturing and instilling the traditional cultural values to the village youths, Kyovi said every village elders should continue to pass down their cultural knowledge to the youngsters to continue to preserve and practice their age-old cultural values. Yeptomi also appreciated the Dichibami villagers for still maintaining traditional jail in the village. He said that because of such rules and strictness in the village, people are always well disciplined and well mannered. The advisor said after he took over the charge of tourism department, Dichibami was given the first privilege and opportunity to represent Sumi in the Hornbill Festival 2018 because Dichibami villagers are always known for their unity in all aspects, the advisor added. Kyovi also thanked the area GBs and leaders from all villages for accompanying him and making the program very special and lively with their presence. That's all we have for now. For more news, keep watching Hornbill TV.